Those are different types of Bucephalandra: Maya, Biblis Red, Mini Red, Filiformis, Wavy Green. And this is my entire tray of Bucephalandra that I propagated myself. I have a lot of experience with those plants and I successfully kept them for years. So, if you are looking for a beautiful plant that is also low maintenance, reliable, and beginner friendly, stick around, because today I will share with you everything you need to know to keep Bucephalandra happy, beautiful, and algae free. As always, I will keep the video short and straight to the point. Bucephalandra, commonly called just Buce, comes in many different forms. There are around 30 identified types of Buce, and they come in different sizes, different leaf shapes, and even few colors. From light and dark green, brown, and even red and purple. Some of them have tiny rounded leaves, others have them long and thin. And this one has leaves that are wavy. It's probably why it's called Bucephalandra Wavy Green. Original, right? But the point is that you can easily find some Bucephalandra that will fit to your tank. The only thing to remember is that, unlike with Anubias, there are no really big types of Buce. Yes, there is a type called Bucephalandra gigantea, but it's still much smaller than the biggest Anubias. On average, most types like Wavy Green or Brownie have leaves around 5 to 8 centimeters in length. But those plants are popular not only because they look great, but also because they are relatively easy to care for, making them a great choice for beginners. They are not very picky when it comes to water conditions and tolerate a wide range of parameters. In general, if you keep the water between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius and pH between 6 and 7.5, they will do just fine. But you do need to keep those numbers quite stable. In my experience, comparing to Anubias, Bucephalandra is a bit less tolerant to sudden changes in water conditions. So be careful when you do big water changes and try to keep those parameters stable. Otherwise, it might cause some melting. Now let's talk about their living conditions. Starting from light. Bucephalandra thrives in moderate to even low light levels. They are really slow growing plants and love to be kept in the shade of bigger plants or hidden under some hardscape like wood or bigger rocks. And if you don't have a lot of hardscape in your tank, it always helps to include some floating plants that will protect the Buce from strong light. They are known to grow even in darkness for weeks. For instance, I sometimes kept them in containers with only ambient light coming from my room, and they still did fine. Very strong light is much worse for them than shade. But why is it so bad for them? It's because, like I mentioned, they are slow-growing plants, and under very strong light, they can be quickly covered in algae that will be very difficult to remove. And thick algae layer will become problematic for those plants, because it might disrupt their photosynthesis, cause melting, nutrient imbalance, and even death of your plant. Next point is nutrients. Just like Anubias, Bucephalandra are epiphyte plants, so they are absorbing nutrients directly from water column. So to keep them healthy, it's good to use liquid fertilizers, not root tubs. Of course, the amount and frequency strongly depends on the size of your tank, number of the plants, and inhabitants. But small amounts of fertilizers dedicated for slow-growing plants will work great. When it comes to CO2, it's really not necessary, and Buce will grow good without it. Adding CO2 is of course beneficial, and makes the plants grow faster, more compact, and colorful. But again, if you are just starting with them, CO2 is not something to be concerned about. So as the plants go, Bucephalandra is one of the best choices for cheap and low-tech tanks. Without fancy substrate, expensive and strong light, and CO2 systems. And finally, I want to mention one of the most neglected points when it comes to keeping Bucephalandra: water movement. In nature, those plants are growing in rivers and streams, so they are used to gentle water movement and proper oxygenation. Correctly placed water filter output, or air stone, really helps to transport nutrients to them and keeps the leaves clean from debris, which also helps to avoid rotting and fungus. So keep the water movement in mind when planning their placement. Bucephalandra doesn't like stagnant waters, and it's one of the things that should really be mentioned more often. Now let's move to maintenance. When you notice some melting, decaying, or yellowing leaves, just remove them as soon as you notice something wrong. Removing dead leaves will prevent them from affecting the healthy ones, and your plants will be fine and will grow new leaves eventually. Rotting or potential plant diseases can spread really quickly, so doing regular health checks on your plants is always a good idea. And speaking about leaves, because of the nature of Bucephalandra, its leaves can get overgrown with algae. To avoid this and mitigate that problem, I strongly suggest to include some cleanup crew. Few otocinclus and Clayton corona snails can help you with keeping the leaves clean and therefore healthy. Trimming is not something to be concerned about. Buce will grow compact and will spread more horizontally. You can think of splitting bigger plants into smaller ones and later just replant them in your tank. But you will never have to trim them like stem plants. But you might want to do something different: trim their roots. Bucephalandra is using roots mainly to attach themselves and to intake some nutrients. But if you don't like having a lot of roots visible in your tank, you can slightly trim them from time to time. And talking about planting Bucephalandra, it usually means that you have to anchor it to something in your tank. Something meaning piece of driftwood, rocks, or pebbles. Many people say that you absolutely cannot place them on the substrate. I get it, but it's not 100% correct. What you cannot bury is the rhizome. Rhizome is this thick stem right there. This is the part from where the leaves and roots are growing from. Burying this part will result in rot and eventually it will kill your plants. That part is true. But you can place it on top of the gravel and let roots anchor themselves. As long as the entire rhizome is exposed, the plant will be fine. To attach those plants to your hardscape, you can use some cotton thread, fishing line, or fish-safe superglue. Or you can just simply jam it into the cracks of your hardscape. It will attach itself eventually using those strong roots. And now I just have to mention something about propagation. First of all, those plants are very easy to propagate. And this is great news because they are not exactly the cheapest plants to buy. If you want to do it, you can cut the rhizome into smaller sections, and over time grow them into the completely new plants. And it is very easy to do. If you are interested in more details, I have a full video about that exact process waiting for you already. This is my result. Those are the results that you can get at zero cost on your site. So go watch that video after you're done with this one. To wrap it up, Bucephalandra are one of the best beginner plants for your tank. I use them for years, and I'm still coming back for more. They are low maintenance, very easy to care for, and simply beautiful. Just keep them in a shade, provide them with some nutrients, remember about proper water movement, take care of the rhizome, and they will grow in your tank for years. Let me know in the comments if you have any extra tips. It's always great to hear from you. Leave a like if you liked the video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.